Okay, let's see if it works, because my laptop is a pain in the arse at the moment, but we'll just need to live with it. Let's first copy the link to this show on Facebook. I was streaming 2 hours ago, but the video of the stream still has to come up. But obviously it will later on, I guess. First, yeah, there it is. ByteDelight Weekly Show, really? It's a real ByteDelight Weekly Show. And oh my god, all the messages here. Let me copy the link first before we do anything else, as always. And here we are. Oh man, this laptop is so slow. I thought I bought an i5 laptop with an SSD, but it's absolutely garbage. So I really should buy something else really soon. Why doesn't it show the preview? Okay, here it is. Yeah, I know. I will delete the previous one. Oh man, delete. Thank you. This laptop is so slow, man. It's running on 4 cores 100%, and I have no idea why. Yeah, I can see, of course, what it's doing. But anyway, I will put a note in my to-do list that I will order another laptop very soon, because this is just garbage. It's absolute garbage. It's shit. Anyway, it's so dang slow. What is it doing, man? I have no idea. It's a 3 GHz system with 4 cores running, well, okay, it's 2 core, 4 threads, and it's doing 100% nothing. Anything. Anyway, I mean, it's doing a lot, but I don't know why. It should be a lot faster. That's what I think. So I'm not sure what they did with this machine when they produced it, but it's a real bad laptop. Anyway, enough said. So I just shared the link to the stream, and did I put it here? I don't know. I don't think so. And let's check if people are in again. Yeah, there are a couple. Jean-Claude, good afternoon. Good evening, sorry. And Ben, good evening. There's still a message from Max, but that's from the previous stream, so I really wonder why it is showing on my on my chat from the new stream, because I completely changed the topic, and so maybe I should have reset the stream URL, but not now. I hope this will work without any problem. Okay, I'm not sure how loud my amplifier is at the moment, so what I will do is just grab the remote from that as well. Otherwise we'll get completely mad. So I got 4 remote controls on my desk at the moment. And even my laptop is remotely controllable by my streaming server there. So come on, Steve, you can join. Use your TV, use the YouTube app, and watch the stream while you're having dinner. But he said he can't, so okay, I will forgive him for that. What did I do here? I didn't do anything. Anyway, just get lost. Right. So, good evening. Who is here? There are 10 people watching. Whoa, that's fast. I can't remember it was that fast last time. There's so many people who are watching. Okay, let's check if I did everything, all the preparations. Run OBS, yeah, well, that's obvious. Set YouTube stream settings on public, yeah, I did. Start stream, share link on Twitter as well. Maybe I should do that. But I think it automatically will do it because I posted it on my timeline. Yes, I did. It's here. right? So it's on Twitter already. Short word. Don't forget to share stream link. I did. Run intro. That's what my program says here. Well, good evening, guys. Sorry I didn't do any ByteDelight weekly shows during, I think, the last 3 weeks, because the last one was from 19 January. But I'm here again. I did a lot of other stuff in the meantime. I did some videos, by the way. Maybe you've seen them. But let's just run the intro and we'll get started. Woohoo, it does. It works. Yeah, it worked. And at the moment I'm looking for the word good evening in Russian, because there have been some Russian people in the stream this afternoon. Okay, that was good evening in Russian. I won't attempt to pronounce it myself. But good evening, welcome. Hola, guten Abend for die Deutsche Freunde, and welcome to another ByteDelight show. First, of course, let's not forget, if you have anything on your mind that should be discussed in this show, then please let me know on the chat. That's the most easy way at the moment, because I closed Facebook to not be distracted. Ask me anything if you want to know anything about me, then don't hesitate, and please ask all your dirty thoughts and questions. Just put them on the chat, and I decide if I will answer them or not. Please subscribe if you haven't, because we are at 1100 subscribers already, so we're going towards the 10,000. It will take some time, of course, but I would love getting there, of course. Right. Let's see if I missed some things here. This is an old note about the new setup for the ByteDelight weekly show. I still love my CRT here, but I have to be a bit careful with it. I have to be a bit, give a bit of love to this CRT, because it's getting old and bobbles a lot of times, and it sometimes jumps to antenna instead of video input automatically. It's not the remote control checked. So anyway, what's on tonight's program? Things that kept me busy for a lot, off-topic things. We'll talk about it. It's only one item this week. Lots of news. Some things about the new MBO 3 Plus interface that's coming up. Some new products that are being developed by other people, including myself. Let's see, some new stuff I put online today, actually, and some things I did last week, which you might think is interesting, I hope, because I liked it. Hey, good evening from Iceland, really. Barry Haynes, good evening. Really, it's the first time I think I've seen you here. Iceland, okay, it's more north than Holland, of course. And someone from Tel Aviv, Gil, good evening. Frank, good evening. I hope I'm not missing some people. Greeting them, of course. Okay, this week's topics. Well, I did some repairs this afternoon, and I don't think I will do any more tonight, because this is not the best setup for doing repairs. The best setup is then over there at my other desk, and I will use the small, let me show you, the small, this doesn't work. I use this camera here, which is now at my side because I put it on the monitor. But anyway, I usually have it on top of the workplace if I'm doing live repairs. So I did a couple this afternoon, I can talk about what I did. Repairs today, because there's also another stream of that which should be available about now, I would guess, but it wasn't available half an hour ago. I don't know why. Um, we'll talk about it in a second. Then, new topic, which is desk pics, ZX desks. I was thinking of sharing some photos of people. So I actually invited people to send over photos from their desks with ZX Spectrum stuff, and I got a couple. And I think there will come really a lot more in the future, and I want to use that to end the show with. But it will be really awesome to see all those other desks. So I will make it a fixed feature of the ByteDelight shows, and I will remember people to send in their photos each week. Sorry. We'll talk about why I'm coughing in a moment as well. It's not because I'm having a cold, but it's another reason. Right, and I will also in the show with the things I will do during next week until the next ByteDelight show. So we'll talk about it. Okay. First thing, very off topic, things that kept me busy. I also have an intro for that. So, you may have noticed, maybe not, yeah, you can see it, that the air conditioning is enabled again. That's because it's today it started out very cold. I think it was freezing this morning. But during the day the temperature was about 15 degrees Celsius, and that was the same I think yesterday and the day before that. And of course that's good, people are getting in good mood, it's a lovely weather, good to get outside, except for me, because I'm really allergic to pollen, and those have started to fall again from the trees. So at this time there are two trees in Dutch called the Els and the Hazelaar, and in a couple of weeks also the Berk or the birch will start to throw out his dirt and things that will really taking my breath away because I'm really allergic to those, and I use some asthmatic medicines for that, and more stuff. To keep me going, but it's the same year and year, so it will take about 2 months, really. So about 2 months to get past that season, and then all the problems are gone, and I can just breathe again and sleep well and that sort of thing. That's what you get when you're allergic, like me. And the funny thing is that I feel when the first pollen are falling, and when that happens, I will check news sites about it, and I will check some hospitals that have a service for measuring the amount of pollen in the air. So there are two in Holland, it's 2 locations, and they really measure the amounts of pollen in 1 cubic meter, or something like that, or square meter I mean. They count them with a microscope, so that's a lot of work, but they do that, and really helps me to know if I'm just having a cold, or that the pollen are in the air again. And of course the weeks there are some peaks in the pollen amount of pollen in the air, and those weeks are really terrible for me, because I'm using the cough medicines all the time. Anyway, I will live. It's not the first time. I've been having this for about 20 years, so not a problem. I'm still very happy. Right, that's about that for this week. The other guys who were in the stream 2 hours ago may have seen I already had pizza, so no snacks at this moment, no nostalgic snacks as well. We'll just get going with the news bites. Yes, it works. Woohoo! Hey, Chen, good evening. Hazel tree, yeah, that might be. I'm not sure about the correct word. I can use Google Translate. I have it opened by default in one of my browser tabs, but I'm not going to Google everything, you know. What's wrong with your desk, Frank? Now you made me curious. So you have to send me something like a picture of your desk, but all in time. You don't have to do it now. You're allowed to clean it up first. Right, news topics. Well, the first thing then, let's open one of the posts from the MBO3 group on Facebook. Yep, let me share that with you. Where's the screen capture button? Oh, there it is. So here's the Facebook group for the MBO3 from Jen Cusera, who also visited the stream this afternoon, which is great. He received my package. I surprised him with a +2A, or actually +2B of course, but the case always says +2A, with the new +3 PSU, because he asked me for if I had one. He wanted to pay for it, but I gave this away already to the Home Community Museum. But they had too many ZX Spectrums at this moment, so I decided to give this away to Jan for his testing of the MBO3 Plus interface. But there were some other things that he posted. Just checking if this is not sorted, I think. Why is it not sorted on date? Because this is an older post. I'm not sure. But he has posted some updates. I'm not sure why it's not in the correct sequence here, but anyway, the status is that he implemented the FMC with ESX-DOS and Div ID with Complete Flashcard and ESX-DOS, of course. So both are implemented in the MBO3 Plus interface, as far as I remember what I read. And he also was implementing some sound. Advanced sound systems like turbo sound and more. So he's progressing very, very nicely. I'm really looking forward to the first prototype, which can be tested by other people. But he is actually having a team of people testing the MBO3 Plus interface. I'm going to check if I can find a post, because I was a bit jealous. I was a bit jealous of a post he did a couple of days ago. But why can't I find it now? Where is that? Because he posted a photo of some shirts he had made for the development team, and I just want one. But we'll see if he sent me one, because it was a very cool shirt. Anyway, that was about the MBO3, and one of the important things, really important things, is that I will get the pick and place machine to run, I think next week, because I'm catched up almost completely, I think, except two things here from people which I have to check and send back, and then we're done with that. And then Jan will have the final boards produced in the Czech Republic, and maybe I can assemble the boards with my pick and place machine. We'll talk about that later. Just got a message, I guess, from Frank. Oh no, not yet. Right, okay, another topic then. I saw a picture of a new, let me share it with you, keyboard faceplate for the Timex 2068 machines, so the American or the Portuguese versions, which both have the silver overlay, and I'm not sure what quality this is, but it looks like it's about the same quality as the original one. Maybe you can see it a bit better here in the next picture, is because it has some thickness, which I think is important, because the original ones are made from vinyl. But at least these are made of proper silver base material, and then printed, I think, in good quality as far as I can see. And the colors are good as well. And it hasn't been a silver version for quite some time, but I think it's important because the black version was available for a while, but give me back some lights, please. And well, that's the whole one. There's one of mine in the other corner. Will not get it, the 2068 machines. But this is a good thing, good development, because now we can get the silver ones as well. All right. Check out my timeline on Facebook if you're interested in how to obtain them, because you can only buy them from the guy directly, or maybe he's going to offer them and sell my retro. So keep an eye on that. Let me wait a bit here. The light will get on. Still have to do something about that. Alright, next new product that is coming really soon is the DivMC Enjoy Pro Mini, and with that I mean the standard Mini, which is, oh, that was not the button I wanted to push. This is the standard Mini. This is a part of the new lineup of the Pro interfaces, DivMC Pro lineup, because there will be 5 versions I think. There will be a Mini Lite, which I've shown a couple of times during the last weeks. There will be the standard Mini, which is this version, which has a joystick interface, and there will be a Mini Deluxe with the case, so a vertical interface with joystick interface and case and a throughput edge connector. I cannot yet make a case for this one because this has a fixed edge connector, which goes directly on the board without a throughput option. But I will develop the version that will have the case as well, and will most probably be some kind of a kit like the ZX HD, because I want to be able to ship the Mini Deluxe in a letterbox to make shipment cheaper, so people don't have to pay too much for that, but they have to put 2 parts of the printed circuit boards into each other and screw 4 screws, and that's it. I will make a video of it, so it's really simple, just like the ZX HD. But again, there will be a vertical interface with joystick interface and DivMC Pro features and case. So that's something like an alternative to the horizontal Pro 1 interface. And that's the last one that will complete the series. And the Pro 1 interface at this time only comes with case, but I'm going to sell the Pro 1 as well without a case. So it has all the same features, but just not the case. So throughput interface, 2 SD card sockets, 2 joystick ports, auto detection of ZX Spectrum model, clock independency, and will still be available for everyone with for each budget, I want to say. So if you want a cheap one with the Pro features, then you can get one from about £35, £40, I have to check. So it's the cheapest version with all the features. Anyway, those will come. I ordered the first prototype batch of the Mini, which I just showed. Also ordered the first big batch of the Mini Lite. So those will come available very soon, I think in 3 weeks. Maybe 2, I have to check. And also ordered more Harlequin 128 boards because they're going fast. Those are selling very well. People really like assembling a Harlequin 128 kit, which is great. Right, next topic is 9-volt power supply. I updated the description in the webshop because I was selling 9-volt power supplies with a UK plug and then an adapter to European countries like Holland, Spain and Italy and that sort of thing. But at this moment I'm only ordering A brand European power supplies, and the reason for that is that I had some problems with the previous ones. Sometimes I got a batch that had some distortion in the output, some ripples and more. So I'm going to only buy the 9-volt European version and will supply a UK adapter if you're in the UK, which has a fuse, which is important in the UK and is a good quality one. So I ordered more of these adapters here. And you will get a 9 volts 2 amperes power supply with the correct plug, of course, and the label which says it's specifically for the ZX Spectrum. Only need to add to the label that it's what input voltage can be. So it's 90 to 230 volts inputs and 50 or 60 hertz. So it's really compatible with every country in the world, but it has a UE plug. Sorry, EU, no, EU, EU. I don't say that enough and you can hear it. So that's what I'm selling at the moment, but I'm still searching for a power supply 9 volts that will have swappable mains plugs for all countries worldwide. And I have found one, and it should have become available a week ago, but it didn't, and the estimated time of arrival of that part in the webshop where I wanted to order it is now unknown. So I really wonder what happened there. Maybe someone pre-ordered the whole batch that became available. I don't know, but that was a quite a decent power supply, 9 volts, 1.5 amperes, I think, but it's enough for about all ZX Spectrums. And I had a replaceable mains plug and was of good quality A brand. So I really hope I can obtain those, because I think it's good to have power supplies available 5 volts, 12 volts and 9 volts with plugs for every country in the world. So we will still look at that, but I will not buy any cheaper ones anymore. I will only buy the A brand. And these ones still cost only, what is it, 14 pounds or something. 14 pounds, I think. So it's not the most expensive thing. Of course, you can also use the original ZX power supplies still, but please replace the capacitors first of those. There's only one inside, I think. Anyway, so next, just as I just said, I will need produce a DFMC mini version with a case, but the case will only be for that specific version, not for the older versions. It won't fit, because there's not enough space between the interface and the ZX Spectrum itself to add a case to it. So the only way of making that possible is to redesign the PCB and place it a bit further away from the ZX Spectrum in the same way I did with the ZX HD. So that will not be a problem, but I just have to do it. All in time. Yeah, the Frank said he. Oh, okay. So the Jersey also made the black vinyl overlays for the Timex machines, and it's the same guy that now makes the silver ones. Okay, that's great. So he knows what he is doing, because he just makes good quality ones. And it's cheaper, of course, getting them directly, because if you offer them on eBay, you have to pay, what is it, 4% or something extra for selling them there, which is it's quite expensive. But I sell lots of stuff on eBay because people just don't know how to find you otherwise. Right, Ernest, good evening. Hey, I just shipped back your, or just shipped your Harlequin assembled Harlequin board, which I did the assembly video of last week. We'll come to that, by the way, in a minute. Let's get going. Alright, capacitor kits. So I put a new kit on the web shop 2 weeks ago, but I finished the manual today because someone ordered one of the kits and I still needed to do that. So let me just show that as well here. So this is the ZX Spectrum capacitor replacement kit. It's meant for ZX Spectrum 16A 48K board issues 3 until 6A, so about all boards except issue 1 and 2, because they're quite different, and I need to edit the manual for that. It will take some more time, so I have to do that still. But the manual's ready, the manual's available. If you're interested, you can just click on the link in the webshop offer, and you will find everything you need to replace the capacitors. And this is actually the board layout for all board issues. So here and there it says, for example, here that this capacitor here is only for ZX Spectrum issue 4A and 4S, the left one. Oh, it's strange. The mouse cursor is not shown here. I thought it was also showing, but anyway. So the left purple capacitor here shows that this one is only needed for the issue 4A and 4S, and here's one only for issue 4A in the middle here in the center. So I try to make it as clear as possible in the manual where all the capacitors should go. But of course, when you're replacing the capacitors on your board, it's just good to compare the board to this picture here. That's one of the steps in the manual that tells you to do a comparison, so you know where the new capacitors will go. And you don't need all capacitors in the bags that are included. You may have 2 or 3 left once you're done, because the kit is meant for all board issues from 3 to 6A, and not all boards need as many capacitors. But it's a complete kit with this manual, which I spent some time on, So I really hope people will like doing this themselves. Just know that you need some basic soldering skills, and a desoldering pump would be very useful if you're going to do it yourself. Um, and of course, one more thing maybe I can show. One more thing, of course, is that the kit will come with separately packed bags with labels on it, and the manual printed on A4 paper. So it's A5 when you fold it, of course. So that's what you get when you order one. That's the only thing I wanted to show. Right. Right, so I did. I just told that Ernest that I did a live stream of the Harlequin 128 assembly. Took me just over 2 hours, I think, but it's mainly because I was chatting a lot during the stream. And of that stream, I made a I made a made a time lapse video which I can show, but I just have to put the volume a bit down. I think it's very lovely. I really like making this video. So this will this assembly time lapse will take a couple of minutes to watch, and then I will show it working, of course. Right, if you want to watch this, please go get over to my YouTube channel and watch this video. And if you would like watching the complete assembly, live assembly, which took 2.5 hours, then you can find the link in the time lapse as well, or just on my YouTube channel, of course. Just click on the link. Don't click away the stream, of course. But if you want to watch it, then middle mouse click the link, and you can open it in a new tab. That should work. Alright, what else did I do in the meantime? So during the last 3 weeks I also experimented a bit with the ZX Spectrum Next board I have here, because there was a new core developed which made the interrupt signal available on the edge connector, which wasn't there before, but still the ZX HD didn't work on that Next board. Could have several reasons, and actually there should be someone that should do a measurement with an oscilloscope to see if the signals are all present and if the signals are timed in the same way as on the real ZX Spectrum. But the thing is, I don't really have the time for it to do it properly, and the only thing I wanted to check is if the ZX HD worked on the ZX Spectrum Next and some other hardware as well. But as you can see in another stream which I did 1.5 weeks ago, I think, or maybe 2 weeks ago, when I was experimenting with just that, I didn't get anything really to work on the Next edge connector. So I really wonder what is not made available on the edge connector yet, or what is wrongly timed or something. I don't know. The last thing I got from Tim from the Next group, which I really like cooperating with, that's not a problem, that's just time mainly, is that he said I should do a capacitor modification on that board, which I haven't done, and maybe that's causing some signal distortion, which could be an issue, so I have to do that. I hope I can find some time for that. Some other things I already showed in some other videos, but let me grab just a couple here, are the new flyers that came in. So I finally got my my own ByteDelight flyers here. Let me put one here. I hope it will stay up. I think it will. Yeah, alright, it's great. So lots about all products I have in the web shop are listed on the flyers, of course, and I will give these away at, for example, computer museums and at fairs. I'm not sure where I will what I will attempt during the next months. We'll see. But if you're interested in having a set of these flyers for any purpose, just let me know. Contact me on through Facebook or something else, maybe through my website. There's a contact form there as well. If you need some for a museum or fair or something else, then please let me know, and I will send you some. Right, that was the news for this week. Let me see if there are new chats here. Not yet. Nope. No problem. We'll just get on with this week's topics, and let me click on that. I wonder if I look more pretty than on an 8-bit picture than in real life. Just let me know what you think. Okay? Right. Okay. So, usually I want to do some live repairs during the show, but I think I have to make that separate from the show. It's better to do that because I can do that over the workplace. What I can do, of course, is unboxing stuff, but this is just repair stuff, whatever here. I don't have really that much new stuff this week, I think. I didn't buy too much. But I know for a fact that in a couple of week or two something, some stuff from England will arrive. We'll see about that when it arrives, and what it is I will show you once it has come in. But what I did do today, I repaired a Plus D interface, which was quite a surprise when I found out what was really wrong with it, because it just worked when I connected it for the first time. But just when I wanted to refit all the chips to make sure the contact was good enough, and I pulled out the first one, there was most obvious corrosion on each of the IC sockets. So I swapped all the IC sockets with new ones, and the interface is now just working perfectly. So if you want to see that, what we discovered, then watch this afternoon's video. It should be available. Let me check if it's available, by the way, because it wasn't available an hour ago, and I really wonder why, because usually YouTube puts it on very quickly. It's strange, it's still not available. I wonder if I did something wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I just hope it's not gone, because I really like the video, but we'll see. Maybe I will have to re-upload it something. I hope I can download it first, of course, then. But all in time. So that's what I did. Also, that's the good thing. I have to write it down, by the way. Is that I did a test with a new transistor I hadn't tested before, which is the ZTX753, and that's a replacement for the ZTX213, which is TR5 on most 48K models, or on all actually. But the ZTX753 was the one with the most power of the 750 series. So you have 4 versions of those: the 750, the 751, the 752, and the 753. And those are all the same type, except the maximum current is a bit higher, I think, with the 53, the highest one. And what I wanted to know is if that will work perfectly instead of a ZTX213, because for a while people thought that the BC213 was a good substitute for that, but it actually isn't, because the 12 volt line gets below 11.8 volts with the BC213, which causes problems with many lower RAM chips. And maybe you got lucky and it worked with your attempt, but most of the time it doesn't. It will get you in all kinds of trouble, so I don't recommend using the BC213. But the ZTX751 has been tested properly and works just fine instead of the ZTX213. And so today we discovered that the ZTX753 also works just fine. So I will put that in my stock. I'm also already offering the 753 with the ZTX653 as a replacement kit for Tier 4 and Tier 5. They're also already available in the web shop. But I'm going to replace 751 now with the 753 instead of that, because those are the most easy to obtain and the most toughest one. So in case there's anything wrong with one of the RAM chips, I think these will outlive shorts a bit longer than the lower versions in the same series. But I'm not sure. At least we know that these ones are just a perfect substitute. So I did some voltage measurements on the 12 volt rails, and those were all good. So I will share it with Iron Gladel. I think he might be interested as well, because he uses some other transistor for his repairs. and this is what I tested. Alright, so no unboxing this week, that's on my program, but I don't have that at the moment. What I do have is a new topic, which I announced at the beginning of the show, and I think it will be very, very nice to see. And here is one from Mario Rossi. Oh, stop playing. I want to play it with sound, and I'm not sure if there's any sound, by the way. But let me show you what his setup looks like. I don't think there's sound. So this is his setup. I think it's a ZX Spectrum Plus with a ZX HD and an interface 1 and micro drive, 2 micro drives actually. And I think he did his best showing his disc, because I don't think there are many discs this clean, and I really enjoy watching these. I actually asked for photos, but he shared this with me, so he's allowed to. I don't mind. Even a rubber mat below it, very nice. And even the ZX Spectrum is very clean. You can almost see it's the ZX HD mirroring in. Look at that. It's almost mirroring, isn't it? It's mirroring, yeah. Wow. How did he do that? Is there oh, there's a plastic, oh, those are the plastic dust covers. Oh, now I understand. I think the ones that George is making, maybe Peter already offers them in ZX Renew. Because that's cool. So there was a product from George he showed on Facebook. So the dust covers, which are just transparent plastic cases for over your ZX Spectrum 48K or Plus or Toast Rack. I think he has 3 types of those, which are very nice, very, very nice. I should maybe I should get a couple for myself. Anyway, yeah, strange. I don't know what happened to the channel. I think Frank that YouTube will figure it out. It must be available on tomorrow, I guess. I'm not sure why it's not showing up yet. Right, okay, so that was one. I got a couple more. Let me show you this. This is from Steve. Steve that couldn't manage because he had dinner. He sent me a couple. Let me just, here's one picture. I'm not showing the rest of the private conversation here, but let me show you his desk. You can see his, I forgot the name of that expansion interface, but he designed a very large ZX Spectrum expansion interface with a couple of vertical throughput slots, and you can see there's one on the side where the ZX HD is connected to. He also has a interface 1 and dual micro drive setup. I think it's a V drive because there's an SD card. Can you see it? There's an SD card in front of it. And I really wonder how the 5-volt regulator is handling this, because this can be a bit much, although the interface 1 and I think also the micro drive use 9 volt directly instead of the 5-volt rails on the ZX Spectrum, so it will live. He's still using the original power supply, 1.4 amperes if I see it correctly. So that's another really cool pick, if you ask me. I really like that one. Let me see if there are more chats. Yeah, there are. Next picture. And please send me more of these, because I love watching these and sharing that with you. Oh, this one is a nice one. I got this one from Martin Poole. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So here it is. Here's his setup. And I really wonder if he actually is using that Sinclair TV back there, because it's almost, you can almost not read what's going on the screen. I've tried it myself, it works. You can see the ZX Spectrum screen in grayscale, of course. But this setup is just awesome. Look at the interface 1 and the micro drive and the ZX printer. That's what Sinclair wanted us all to have, you know. So this one is from Martin. Thank you, Martin, for sharing that picture. And I have more of these, 1 or 2, I guess. So one is here, and this one is from, that was slow, I told you, so. Okay, this one is from Jan, who is also in the chat. So let me show you Jan's setup. So this is from Jan, again a ZX HD. Everyone has a ZX HD these days. Also a Pro 1 interface, I can see it. The ZX Uno, which is the Southern European FPGA solution with ZX Spectrum core, of course. I see a plus 2B, I guess. Let me check if we can see power supply. Yeah, it must be the black one. So that must be a multiface plus 3 then, I guess. I'm not sure. And I can see some conversion, video conversion thing in the back. It looks quite nice. It's the same IKEA disc as I use for packing my stuff daily. With a drawer. So thank you for that picture, Jan. It's really nice. I really like those. Where's Jan? He was here a moment ago, wasn't he? I thought he was here. He isn't here. Okay, sorry, my bad. Anyway, right. If you have more of these, either send them to zxdesk@bytedelight.com or send them by private message to my Facebook channel account, or think of any other way you can send them to me. I will get them. I will catch them and I will share the pictures with you because I really like them. So please send them over. I will invite more people for doing that because I really love sharing those. And maybe I should ask especially for pictures with the machine running. That would be cool. I think. It's just what I think, you know. Alright, so that's about it for this week. What I'm going to do for next week is finally assemble a SpectraNet interface, because I've been promising that for months now. Also the +3 power supply batch, the first batch, will be ready in a couple of days now. I have all the stuff here actually. So I got all the parts. I got the vinyl labels for the cases. I got a A-brand 12-volt power supply with mains plugs from all over the world. I got the wiring for the part that goes to the ZX Spectrum, and I already cut a couple of these. But someone I think Ian said that he would like it to be a bit longer. But what I thought is that if the power supply with the switch is too far away from the ZX Spectrum, it might be harder to reach the on-off button, which is included in the power supply. So what I will do is I will sell two versions. I will sell one version with just the standard plastic plugs. So that's an empty one. So with the plastic plugs, but I will also sell, let me call it the deluxe version. It's not really more special, except for that it will have a metal plug instead of a plastic plug, and I will make the cable a bit longer. It will only cost £3 more or something like that. I will have to check. So all the parts are in, I just have to spend some time on it, and really I'm doing a real lot on everything, but I cannot do everything. So that's about it for this week. I know it's not the longest show ever, but it's not a big problem, I think, because I've done another video this afternoon. So if you want to watch more, please head over to youtube.com/ByteDelight and subscribe and check out my videos there. We'll have a lot more. We're at 3,700 hours, watching hours annually throughout the last year, which is almost 4,000, and makes me happy because we can start monetizing again. And that's what I'm looking forward to, because I want to make more of these videos, and that will help me making more. And even buy some stuff that will help me with all the setup, like a good stand for the 4K camera over there, which is now on the desk. You cannot see it, but it's it's really, no one has to come up here and try to walk, and because if we will try, then the camera will fall, and well, will not make the viewers happy. So if you have any comments, anything to ask me, you can do it now. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on my website, on the sorry. Of course, let me just show you what I want to say. It's just my bad English, you know. There is a contact form here, and you can just fill in your contact, your name. So that's Ben, and my email is ben@bytedelight.com. And what you want to say is, please learn better, okay, the gooder English. Yeah? Submit. Sorry, I'm so bad at this. Sorry guys. So if you want to leave me a message, that's another way of doing that. Also, you can email me directly, but I think email is getting a bit old nowadays. People really think that using a forum or Facebook is more easy, but you know, Facebook, anything can happen to Facebook. That's the scary thing at this moment. Trail, good evening, San Diego. Wow, very nice, guys. I will finish it up for this week. I will get over to my kids and wife, and we'll finish the evening. I will. I don't think I will make it late today because the hay fever is really getting the best of me at the moment, and I don't like that. And it's only the beginning of the season, you know. That's the bad thing about it. Alright, anyway, please click on the thumbs up button if you like, and I will see you all next week. And let's end with the intro because it's just so funny. It's just nice to watch this. I watch it for